As a car guy, I don't just carry things. I carry what I need to stay prepared, whether I'm turning wrenches, hitting the road, or just handling business. In today's video, I'm breaking down my EDC, everything I keep on me in a day in, day out situation. So let's get into it. Your wallet is like your car's glove box. It holds the essentials. License, debit cards, cash, you gotta have it all. Because just like getting pulled over without your registration, being without your wallet is a bad time. Now, in this regard, I still carry an old school leather wallet. I've had this thing for years. It's hard to beat the look and feel of leather. It ages nice. But I am looking to transition to a front pocket wallet. So if any of y'all out there have any recommendations, I carry this cheap when I got off of Amazon for my business cards. But I'm looking for something a little bit more versatile. So if you got any recommendations for a front pocket wallet, drop them down in the comments below. No keys, no start. Simple as that, y'all. This is one of my favorite features about this key ring. It's made by a company called True. It's basically a little pill bottle size lighter that runs on Zippo flints and Zippo fluid. Has a nice rubber O-ring. Doesn't take much fluid. I filled this thing up and the fluids lasted in there up to 6 months before drying out because of that O-ring. So that's a pretty neat little feature. It's always handy to have a way to make fire and no more what space it takes up. I think it's a must-have. Next up is my phone. This thing is basically my ECU of my life. It handles everything from day-to-day communications, navigation, all my tuning apps, and of course all my photo and video editing. Without this thing, there would be no YouTube channel. What I carry is a Samsung Z Fold 5. It's a folding device, which is killer for me. It makes all my video editing and photo editing 10 times easier. This thing is basically a laptop in your pocket. I mean, I can make a whole video dedicated to this thing. It's unreal, the possibilities of what you can do with this phone. I like to keep my phone set up clean and simple, so what I paired this one with is a Samsung branded case along with a flat black pop socket. The Samsung case actually houses the S Pen, which is handy to use when the screen's unfolded. It makes editing videos and photos a lot easier by using that tool. When the device is unfolded, it has a huge interior screen, which makes consuming content like YouTube, Netflix, or anything else for that matter an amazing experience. I highly recommend getting one of these Samsung Z Fold series. These are an excellent device. They are kind of pricey, but what phone isn't these days, really? Notebook and pen. I treat this as the build sheet of my life. Sure, I could use my phone for this, but a lot of times I don't have my phone handy or it's on a tripod or something. From video ideas, to-do list, or parts I need to order, these things come in handy more than you would imagine. Especially if you're trying to leave a note for somebody on their vehicle or at their front door. It's hard to beat pen and piece of paper. Some cheap options, you can pick up like a 3-pack of those ones on the left from Walmart for like $3 or $4 for a 3-pack of them. Or you can go with the more expensive brand, the Right in the Rain. They are waterproof and tear resistant, but the only drawback to those are they cost a little bit more and they do not do well with gel ink pens. They write with anything else like ballpoint pen, Sharpie, pencil, magic marker. They just do not do well with gel ink. You might not think carrying a lighter is necessary, but you'd be surprised how often you'd use it. Whether it's sealing up a frayed rope, lighting a bonfire, or when you had enough of that project vehicle and you're just ready to burn it to the ground. So when it comes to lighters, I got a few different ones I like to rotate between. I like to carry a Zippo just for the nostalgic of it. I mean, when you flip open a Zippo, everybody knows the sound of that. The only downside to those is you have to keep refilling the fluid and they evaporate pretty quick. So to the left of that, they carry these cheap butane torches at Dollar Tree for like $1.25. Those things are hard to beat. And to the right, it's one of those electric arc lighters. I think they're kind of gimmicky, but you know, they still provide a spark. So it's better than being without nothing. Those do hold a pretty good charge on a battery. And as far as from what I've experienced, most of these are waterproof. The Zippo claims windproof. The butane torch claims windproof. And of course, the electric arc one is going to be windproof. Like I said, it's hard to beat a classic Zippo. This one, a lot of people ask me about. It's just a basic brass Zippo. Nothing special about it. I just happened to put that key on there myself. Simple job. I just made a little cut. And it's just hard to beat a Zippo. That sound. The smell. The crock ones are available at Dollar Tree for $1.25. These are good for heat shrinking wires, like wire loom, you name it. And like I said, these electric arc ones, they're kind of gimmicky, but you can still start a fire with it. So that's my options for lighters. Let me know what you carry in the comments below. A good knife is like a body hammer. It's all about versatility. Cutting zip ties, opening boxes, or scraping something off a surface. These things see plenty of action. This is something we can all go down the rabbit hole on. Every guy I know carries at least one blade on them, sometimes two. Like I said, I minimum have at least 2 blades in there by me at all times. You never know when you're going to need a good knife. But laid out before you, I just got a few of the basic ones I carry on rotation from day to day. Nothing crazy. I don't get into the high-end stuff like Chris Reeves or Benchmade. I just keep it simple, something I can pick up at the local auto parts store or Lowe's or Walmart even. Don't sleep on those Ozark trail knives, I mean, because for $5 or $10 you can get a pretty decent blade. And the reality is you're going to end up losing it on the side of the road, in between the couch cushion, in your toolbox, or you're going to break the blade on it. So worst case scenario, you're out of $10. But I do like to carry Gerber, Kershaw. I got a few Cobalt knives laid out in front of you. Sometimes you don't have a full toolbox with you, and that's where these come in. Pliers, screwdrivers, blades. Having a multi-tool is like carrying a mini pit crew in your pocket. Now, I don't go for the high-end stuff. I don't normally carry these on my person. I normally have these close by. I like to throw one in every glove box in any vehicle I drive. That way, at minimum, you got a pair of pliers and some wire cutters. And it's always nice to have the redundancy of having a second blade. A lot of times on these multi-tools, unless you got a higher end one like a Leatherman or something, the screwdrivers and the other little tools are kind of fidgety on them and are hard to use. Especially like if you got to really get some torque down on something. But the best one I have is that Gerber there, that black one. I've had that thing for years. No complaints with it. Like I said, I don't normally carry these on my person, but I do have them close by. The smaller ones, I like to keep those in my camera bag for tightening up camera plates, like tripod mounting plates. You never know when you might need a little screwdriver or something, so they come in handy. The green one there is an Ozark Trail. I'm pretty sure that's less than $10, so you're not really, I don't invest too much in these things. If I can get myself into the habit of carrying one more on a daily basis, I might end up spending more on one, like investing in a Leatherman or something, but I just can't deal with something that big and bulky in my pockets, considering I carry all this other gear. This might seem like a no-brainer, but chapstick is the lubricant of life. You wouldn't let your engine run dry, so why let your lips run dry and crack up? Especially during the winter time, having a tube of chapstick in your pocket is a no-brainer. But you'd be surprised at what else you could do with this chapstick. On the off chance that you had to start a fire, you wouldn't believe it, but chapstick is flammable. If you can get some dry tinder, like some leaves or some sawdust or even some cotton, and cut a piece of this chapstick off and smash it up in there, you'll be surprised how long that chapstick would burn. Enough to get you a decent sized fire going. Another use for it is possibly quietening down a squeaky belt. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the side of the road and having to deal with a squeaky alternator belt or something. Don't have a bar of soap or any belt dressing. Take a little tube of chapstick, rub on there, it'll quieten it right up. Or say, for example, you needed to seal up a leaky float ball in a carburetor. If you had a little tear in your gasket, say you was doing some roadside repair on your carburetor, if you had a tear in your float ball gasket, cut your little piece of this chapstick off, dab it on there, it'll get you back home. So don't underestimate the power of chapstick and what all you can do with it. As cheap as this stuff is, $1 or $2 at the Dollar Tree, you know, it's worth having one in your pocket or at least in your glove box. If you ever worked under a car at night or lost something in the engine bay, you know why a flashlight is crucial. This is my mini trouble light, because let's face it, as powerful as these phones are, the phone lights just do not cut it as far as flashlights. So the three options I've got laid out in front of you, these are something I do not leave the house without. One goes in my pocket every day. The one on the left is a Lysol. It's available. There are several different brand names, the same light. But I picked that one up on sale at O'Reilly's one day at the countertop for like $7.99. It runs on 2 AAAs. It's cheap enough. If I lose it, whatever, you know, $8, I can replace it. The one in the middle is a little bit bigger of a light, but it has a few more features. That one's made by Braun from Harbor Freight. I have a review of that I did about a year or so ago on my channel. It has a magnetic base on the bottom, deep carry pocket clip. It has a pen light on the end, a floodlight on the side, and a UV leak detector light. So for the $20, you get a little bit more bang for your buck. Plus it's rechargeable, so no throwing away batteries, wasting money there. And that one on the left is one I keep on my camera bag just in case I get in the need of a light at nighttime. That one actually has a little kickstand, a magnet on the back of it, a carabiner clip, so I just clip it to my camera bag. That way I always have a good floodlight ready to go if I'm setting up camera gear in the dark or anything. Got that one from Dunham Sports for like $10. USB rechargeable as well, so no batteries to have to worry about. I'm going to try to give you a demonstration here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up or not, if it's going to be flickering. But the Lysol from O'Reilly, it has a high and low. That's high and low. Adjustable beam. You can focus the beam in or out. And of course a tail cap switch. As far as the Braun from Harbor Freight, that is your pen light, floodlight on high, and the UV leak detector. And as far as this generic no-name light, that is your low. Nope, sorry, that was your high. That is your low. And that is your strobe. Like I said, this one has a little kickstand on it. So if I need to set it up and do some work hands-free, I got that option. Sunglasses aren't just for looking cool. If I leave the house without these, it's going to be a bad day for me. I wear sunglasses constantly. I cannot stand to be blinded by the sun, especially during this time of the year when the sun never really gets high in the sky. It kind of stays flat on the horizon from sun up to sundown. So these are like the tinted windows of my life. I do not go anywhere without sunglasses. These are just some cheap $15 ones. I think these are Panama Jacks or something. I have plenty of the higher end brands like Oakley's and Kosas and stuff, but to me, I'm always scratching them or sitting on them, breaking them, or dropping them in the parking lot. So $15, $20 pair is good enough for me. I keep a couple of these. I got one in just about every vehicle, so that way I do not leave the house without a pair of sunglasses. This next section I'm not going to touch too much on because I don't want YouTube demonetizing the video. But I carry responsibly. I train often. I hope I never need it, but I'd rather have it and not need it than the other way around. So this is my security system. Basically, I carry anything from a 380 to a 9mm, depending on the weather and what type of clothing I'm wearing. And from left to right, we got a basic Ruger LCP, like the first, I wouldn't say the first, but the most well-known pocket pistol there is. In the middle there, we have a Smith & Wesson M&P. And on the right, we have a Taurus G2C. Like I said, these are 380 or 9mm. I'm comfortable with these weapons. These are not high-end pistols at all. All of these can be had for below $500. So it's just personal preference, y'all. Whatever you're comfortable with. I'm accurate with these things. And last but not least is my wristwatch. I typically carry, if I wear one, it's going to be a G-Shock. This is just a basic, probably the cheapest G-Shock you can get. I think this is like 60, 55 or 60 bucks. Nothing crazy. A solid watch is like an old school gauge cluster. It's always there. It's always reliable. And for this one, it's pretty rugged. I mean, they say they're indestructible, but then like the first week, I've scratched the glass on this one, but no big deal. It still works. It tells the date, time, day of the week, stopwatch features. Just basic stuff, you know. Of course, I could pull my phone out, but a lot of times if I'm underneath the hood of the car or something, I don't typically have my phone around. 9 times out of 10, it's on a tripod recording something. So having a decent, dependable, rugged watch is a must-have for me. For my closing thoughts, I'll give y'all a look at my EDC for the day. Every piece serves a purpose, keeps me prepared, and makes sure I'm ready for whatever the day throws at me. Let me know what's in your EDC. Drop a comment, hit the like button, and if you're into cars, tools, or anything gear related, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one.